Jeffrey thinks that the only way to get girls is through genetics. And since he doesn't have perfect genetics, he's already given up. But that's not enough. Jeffrey wants you to give up too. Adonis. Adonis will never ask you to give up. Hell, he'll pick you back up. He'll lift you from the floor like you're a tiny little human, say that you've got this, to believe in yourself, that you can amount to great things. But Jeffrey will be pulling on your leg, telling you that ambition is pointless, that it's over for you, curry cells. Who do you want to be more like? So I can finally start one of these story times where I speak about my younger self with a positive note. I've pretty much always been ambitious. For a very long time, I wasn't putting that ambition into use. Or in fact, you know what I was putting it into use in video games. I would set the goal, you know, like, oh, I'll destroy this enemy team, or I'll get to 99 strength on RuneScape. It was when I stopped playing video games and I started playing with women instead. That's when my ambition truly started to become more rewarding in the real world. And of course, I was a degenerate and I don't recommend that life. But even then, even when I was like a lazy degenerate, I still had levels of ambition that when I would meet girls, I'm always able to not exactly exaggerate, but just display what my goals were. So whilst all the guys around me were just lazy as you know, we're just uni students and everything, I would still speak of like big goals. And I remember every time like a woman would ask me like, what do I do for work or anything, they'd always be like really impressed, even if I wasn't really doing anything that great. For example, the first business that I ever built was just reselling clothes on eBay. It's literally just like you buy some clothes and you sell them. But the way that I would explain it to people, especially when the girls would come see me and, you know, they'd ask me what I do, they'd be like, oh my God, you know, that's so amazing. Like I want to do that too and everything. Imagine that amplified 100 times. And that's what it feels like my life is at now. One of the most common attraction points that I'm hearing from women when they speak to me, like I ask them to just open up, like, you know, what about me is attractive? And of course, maybe there's some black pill truth where they don't get to express, oh, but you know, your jawline is 3.1 centimeters or something. Yeah, of course they're going to be attracted to me. But one of the first things that a lot of different women have said is ambition. And in fact, sometimes when the conversation comes to like previous relationships, one of the most common things that girls say is things like ambition and laziness. They always say something like, oh, you know, my boyfriend stopped going to the gym. Girls who are still with the boyfriend have said this to me, and like they're flirting with me because I'm in the gym. Oh, but my boyfriend said he's gonna go after Christmas now. And all I have to do is just give her that look of like, that's it. Now she feels kind of like less attracted to the guy because he's become lazy as fuck. The truth is that women, especially women who don't already really like you, they don't really care about your struggle or your pain. They stand at the finish line and they just want the winner. That's a very common point in like the red pill sphere, and it is totally the truth, and like it should be. Like no woman who doesn't even know you should be like there when you're struggling because you haven't earned that yet. You haven't attracted her yet. Once you've attracted her and once she's invested into you, okay, yes, we'd like her to, you know, stay around for the struggle if we do go through it. But the other part of this analogy is that ambition is like an aphrodisiac to women. So whilst there's a race going on for the reward, to make it easy, let's say the reward is £10,000 and there'll be women around the finish line here. The truth is that when there's a race worth millions, the women will still be around the actual race over here. Like they will join you on the journey because they're excited for the potential growth ahead. That's so incredibly exciting for any person who meets you when you're ambitious, especially with a woman who kind of understands that if you two get together, that she will probably get to enjoy the life that comes from your ambition. And before we get some cringy comments from some black pill incels, this is not me disregarding the importance of attractiveness. I say on my channel that is so fundamentally crucial that every other aspect of yourself, your personality, your goals, your ambitions don't even matter if she isn't attracted to you first. Physical attractiveness is what gets you through the door first. But there's a fair amount of guys who are attractive and who don't really do that well with girls because they're losers. And let's forget about girls, they're just living a shit life anyway. It's a very popular woman's dream to be with the guy who like takes over the world, to be with the guy who becomes a success, to be with the guy who conquers his career, who does really well for himself. Now, 100% women would just rather meet the guy who's already there, but a whole lot of women will join you for the journey if you show that you're going to the right place. Trust me when I say that this is up to you. If you are finding that women are not interested in joining you for the journey, it's probably because you're not that ambitious, or the end point of your journey isn't that really exciting to a woman. And also how you describe it. Are you good at storytelling? Because the majority of guys aren't. The majority of guys, when they're asked like, what do you do for work? Or, you know, what do you do for fun? They'll be like, I don't know, I play Xbox, I go to the pub. They'll say some stupid shit. You need to be able to explain yourself. This reminds me of the time that I was going to join the military after university. I was going through the process of joining the RAF to become a physical training instructor. I'm literally beasting the application. I'm brown, so they're like fully like letting me breeze through through because it looks incredible when you have a brown guy who was born in Pakistan who wants to join the British military. So they're breezing me through. It was going to be an awesome job. And there was a point when they were doing like a face-to-face assessment. At the end, she was like, oh yeah, by the way, like you're the best person we've had in here in literally weeks. And I was like, oh, like what was different? She said the majority of guys we come in here who get asked these questions of like, you know, what they do in their free time and everything, they literally like, this was her imitating the guy. She was like, oh, like, I don't know, like I play Xbox and like, or like I like going out with my mates. And how I was in this assessment where they're asking me questions about my life and how I'm just demonstrating leadership and everything. I was telling them stories of, oh yeah, there was this girl who had body image issues and she had mental health problems. I took her to the gym with me for a long time through university and now she's like looking even better. I'm telling her these stories. I'm speaking with like confidence and emotion. I'm making them visualize things. Why do you think this YouTube channel is growing so much faster than others? You want to know my secret? Like other YouTubers might be watching this and they're going to try and imitate me. They won't be able to do it as good as me, no offense. But like, I'll tell you the secret. Storytelling. That's the secret to YouTube. If I can put an image in your mind, you will join me. That's incredibly powerful. When you watch my videos, I make you see the life that you don't want with Jeffrey, and I make you see the life that you want with Adonis. And I put you into the middle and I ask you which direction you want to go. So you want to go towards Adonis and you want to start making more progress. And then I tell you my story. My story is most likely going to be very relatable to you because I'm not afraid to tell you that I used to jack off 3 times. I'm one of the very few guys on YouTube who will tell you unfiltered, the absolute truth with detail. And that puts mental movies in your mind. That's ambition. Ambition is so closely tied to storytelling because it's with storytelling that you show your ambition and people will join you for the journey just like you've joined me for mine. You need to have big goals. Goals that are reasonably unreasonable. 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. We started the year with about 200k. That's reasonably unreasonable. It's not like unheard of to go from 200 to 1 million in 1 year. It's pretty hard to do. Most guys get stuck around 200, 300, 400, 500k and their channel start dying off. We'll reach 1 million by the end of the year. Me and my friend Nabil actually have this plan that in May of this year, we're going to go to Thailand. We're going to rent like a big villa and we're going to like throw like a couple of parties there because our birthdays are just a week apart. I'm going to try and hit 500k at that point. I'm live streaming it and you're watching and like the subscriber count is going up and up and up. We've got literally like attractive girls next to us. We've got a couple of guys that we like. Everyone's just getting ready. We're on like 499k and eventually it ticks over to 500k. Everyone's celebrating. We want to get that as like content. We're going to record it as like a party. Do you see what I just did there? I just showed you some more ambition. I didn't describe much, but you probably started to think things in your mind and you almost got like a sense of excitement for me. You want to join me on that journey. So now imagine the same thing the next time you go speak to a woman. Scroll down right now and share this video to a Jeffrey friend who needs it. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.